21st century cosmopolitan Malaysia, a land of variety and contrast. This nation of nearly 30 million is a richly woven tapestry of cultures and races. For centuries, people from faraway lands came to these shores by sea.
There would be traders from the Middle East or Arab countries, India, China. Even on occasion, Europeans showed up.
The history of Malaysia reveals how a diversity of people came to settle here, bringing their own customs and traditions, each contributing to its cultural landscape.
And they also brought in important aspects of their cuisine.
The cuisine of Malaysia tells the story of the country's colorful past and the heritage Malaysians share.
I strongly believe you can tell Malaysian culture and history through its food.
From centuries-old Malay favorites
Nasi lemak ni memang turun temurun daripada nenek moyang.
to Chinese-inspired street food. Journey into the very heart and soul of this country, a melting pot of many influences.
Fusion is not 20th century. Fusion took place in the 13th and 14th century.
Culinary Malaysia, a mouth-watering celebration of this multicultural nation.
Malaysian food has shaped what we are today. It has the influence of all the historical things that have happened, all the traders that have come in, everyone that has come in and crossed our paths has influenced us in Malaysia.
Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. This is the cosmopolitan heart of this nation. A sprawling modern metropolis. At the start of each day, many Malaysians observe a breakfast ritual with a 600-year-old Malay favorite. Rice steamed in coconut milk, topped with a dash of sambal or chili puree, some cucumber, egg, and fried ikan bilis, a local variety of anchovy. Wrapped in a banana leaf, nasi lemak is a Malay staple, and while it today has several variations, the basic dish has remained largely unchanged for centuries.
I think it is simplicity in itself. 3 ingredients. You have the main carbohydrate, you have the protein, and then you have the vegetable.
Malaysian cuisine expert Carol Salvaraja has been a food writer and celebrity chef for over 30 years.
If there may be an authentic Malaysian cuisine, I consider it as nasi lemak, and it has been available from the 15th century because we've heard of writers talking about this lovely dish.
The simplicity of nasi lemak, particularly its rice and fish combination, belies its prominence in the history of Malay cuisine.
The core diet of an early Malay community would have been rice and fish. Rice would have been brought in through trade. For example, in the Great Malacca Kingdom, there were tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tons of rice brought in every year from Java. Combine that with fish, that made up the basic diet.
The popularity of fish amongst Malaysians continues today. It is estimated that they put away some 2 million tons of it each year. Peninsular Malaysia is flanked on either side by seas rich with marine life. Much of the country's supply of fish comes from the waters off its western coast, an approximately 800-kilometer channel called the Straits of Malacca.
Straits of Malacca played a very important role in this because it is very shallow, it has a high oxygen content, so it's a very important breeding ground for fish and other sea life.
The Straits of Malacca not only sustained early settlers, but its strategic location also made it a thoroughfare for trade, putting Malaysia at an important crossroads.
It acts as a funnel for trade between South Asia or India and East Asia, particularly China. And so if you want to move between China or Japan and India, you basically have to go through the Straits of Malacca. There would be traders from the Middle East or Arab countries, India, Japan, the Philippines, China.
Trading wasn't the only activity along the Straits of Malacca. The abundant seas saw fishing communities thrive along the coast. These days, Pangkor Island along the northern reaches of the Straits is still home to a fishing industry. Pangkor is best known for ikan bilis, but a wide variety of other marine species are also caught here. Many of the island's 25,000 inhabitants depend on the fishing industry for a living. 22-year-old Nasri, or Captain E, is the youngest fishing boat captain on the island. He's followed in the footsteps of his father.
Semalam you tangkap berapa? Ada?
Malam ada juga sekian.
Sikit ah? Oh, kalau itu macam kena rajin sikit lah.
Each day, boats head out to sea from Pangkor's jetties at precisely 3 p.m. It's a competitive business. Everyone is intent on finding the best fishing spots. But overfishing is forcing boats to venture further out than before. Life at sea may look tranquil, but it is hard, back-breaking work.
Kadang-kadang pun sampai 2 hari, 3 hari dah biasa kan, tidur sat-sat lah pun kan. Dah biasa kerja kan, kerja dah ni tekong kena jadi macam tu. Dia tak suka pasal ikan pun dia tak tidur. Jam malam dia tak tidur kan.
Captain E is doing the same thing generations before him did. It's a legacy that stretches back to the earliest known fishermen in these parts, the orang laut.
The orang laut, or sea peoples, basically dominate the ocean. They have knowledge of rare products in the ocean. They have knowledge of the shoals, the currents, the shallows, and therefore they're able to move over water, or particularly the Straits of Malacca area, with ease.
Fishermen like Captain E rely more on technology than the intimate knowledge of the sea their predecessors possessed.
Ada nampak kot lawan ni. Ni ikan bumi kita. Ni ikan ni. Kalau ikan lalu kot bawah bot kita, ada nampak sini.
Despite the high-tech gadgets available, Captain E and his crew still turn to a more traditional method to drive fish into their nets. They make noise. It takes far less time to deploy the nets than to reel them in. This must be done with care to avoid snagging the nets and losing the catch. How big that catch will be is anyone's guess. The sea, it appears, is smiling upon them tonight, and they pull in a sizable catch. This time they've landed a school of mackerel, a fish popular with Malaysian seafood lovers.
Sebab sama tadi lagi pun ikan pun liar kan. Lagi pun ayak pun ada pusing-pusing, ayak pukat jadi kemek kan. Yang ni pasal pukat pun cantik. Ikan pun banyak jinak sikit kan. Tu boleh kena banyak
By daybreak, Captain E's crew would have hauled in nearly 4,000 kilograms of fish. They head back to shore with the ship's hold near capacity. Tonight's catch includes ikan bilis that will eventually end up in kitchens across Malaysia. At Chef Zainal's in Kuala Lumpur, deep-fried ikan bilis is but one choice of ingredients for nasi lemak. Modern-day versions of the dish see items like fish cake, shrimp, and fried chicken wings being used as well. But they're all interpretations of the traditional recipe, served in nostalgic settings.
Saya nak customer saya selesa waktu makan dengan irama 50-an, awal 60-an, dan tengok gambar-gambar tu seolah-olah dia akan kembali ke masa yang lampau waktu dia anak-anak tu kan.
That walk down memory lane at Chef Zainal's ultimately leads to good old-fashioned nasi lemak.
Prinsip saya bagi nasi lemak ni senang, simple je. Kita kekalkan yang lama, tradisi kita tu kekalkan. Resepi dia kita maintain, dengan itu kita boleh berjaya kalau kita buat perniagaan. Nasi lemak ni memang turun-temurun daripada nenek moyang dan merupakan resipi ibunda kita.
The nostalgic ambience here is perhaps an apt setting for Malaysians to savor a culinary favorite from the past. One that is as popular today as it was in the 15th century. In the far north of Peninsular Malaysia, along the Straits of Malacca, lies a Chinese heartland, Penang. Over time, waves of immigrants from China came and settled here, bringing with them their own traditions and culture, and of course, their cuisine, helping turn Penang into a street food paradise. The variety of food here is as staggering as it is mouth-watering.
Malaysia, Penang ni yang kau lah.
This is al fresco dining Malaysian style. And one of the stars here is a noodle dish called char kway teow.
Char kway teow is the flat rice noodles tossed with bean sprouts, with cockles, with chili, with garlic. It may be a dish we're eating in the roadside mainly or cooking at home. But it is very important because all of us long for that char kway teow.
The Penang Food Festival is a celebration of its street fair. Food takes center stage, with chefs' creations scrutinized by experts. The Best Char Kway Teow Award is up for grabs. In true Malaysian form, this Chinese dish is enjoyed by non-Chinese as well.
I love char kway teow. The taste, the color, the ingredients. Voila.
Char kway teow is a national dish in my opinion because, you know, a lot of people wake up and the first thing they want to have is char kway teow.